Hey Baddies, so it's a new year. Should I say that it's 2024? Yeah, it's 2024, and it seems to be a thing now where I talk about my story at the beginning of every year because, you know, I get new followers, new subscribers, and welcome to the family, okay? I don't know if y'all want to call this the Baddies Club, the Glow Up Club. I really don't know, but y'all my baddies. I'm gonna give y'all a quick story. Real quick, for those of you who are brand new, who don't know me, I'm Bevy, and on this channel, we talk about the science of hair loss and hair growth. They're not the same, so stop using them interchangeably. Not only was I diagnosed with androgenetic alopecia, and I've been treating it successfully for the past 4 or 5 years. So much time has passed. But I also have over a decade of experience in the pharmaceutical and dermatology and medical industry. So basically, I am clinically trained to read, understand clinical studies, convey that information to clinicians, scientists, medical doctors, physicians, etc. I understand the pharmacology of drugs, of products. So yes, I can, you know, my brain can take in labels, product labels, and compute and basically spit it out for y'all in English and let y'all know what it means and if it's worth your time, should you be using it, blah, 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 blah. All right. So yeah, and then this year I'm working on a couple of new things. I won't share just yet, but you know, basically I'm just trying to solidify myself by gaining a little bit more credentials in this field so that when I come to you guys, I could say, yeah, I'm verified. You know what I'm saying? I have credentials. But anyway, that is enough. I just wanted to give y'all that quick thing so y'all know who the heck am I? Why did you subscribe to this channel? Why I have so much information, so much tea, why I know what I'm talking about, all of that. Anyway, so let's just jump right in. I'm gonna try to get to the point this year. Like I said, I know it takes me a long time, so I'm gonna try to get to the point. So, long story short, I had a head full of hair. I'm gonna try to insert pictures. Head full of beautiful hair my entire life. Never has been an issue. By the way, what y'all see right now, these are extensions. I just have to say that because I know there are times where I have my real hair out and some of y'all think it's fake. So I got fake hair in now. So I gotta tell y'all that it's fake because full transparency on this channel. I'm all for extensions, you know, braids, knotless braids, all that stuff. Anything that makes you feel like a baddie, like you gotta feel good about yourself at the stage that you're in life. My thing is make sure you have a healthy head of hair, make sure you have a healthy foundation so that you can clip something onto something, because if you got weak hair, you can't really do much. You know what I'm saying? You're limited. But anyway, and then you feel bad about yourself when everything comes off. All that to say, I have extensions in. Your girl has been nursing thin hair for quite a few years because of the alopecia, and so I just wanted some body for the new year. You know what I'm saying? Some body. But anyway, yes, a lot of the other videos where you see my hair long, whatever the case may be, it is my hair. I will tell you when it's not. Hey baddies, it's your girl Bevy, and I'm interrupting you really quickly because I have to ask this very important question. Why am I not at 100K subscribers yet? Let's keep it a buck. I'm giving you real content. I'm dropping game for free, and I have loads of comments, okay? Loads of comments from my baddies saying that my content has helped them on their path to hair regrowth, okay? Effective hair regrowth. So please, okay, help a sister out. Start liking, okay? Liking these videos to help me in the algorithm. Subscribe to this channel. Share this content with your friends that may or may not be honest about whether or not they need my help, okay? And most importantly, I'm dropping a hair growth serum very, very soon. Please click the link down in the description box, okay? And leave your information so that you can be the first to know. I'm about to turn the hair loss treatment, okay, space upside down on its head because the gatekeepers don't look like me, and I'm about to fix that, okay? I'm looking out for your interests. I'm really helping you because I really care. This is my mission, and I need your support. So that's all I had to say, okay? Continue on. So let's go into the story. All my life I had a head full of beautiful long hair. You'll look at some pictures. But right around 2019, I started noticing a lot, 2018 leading into 2019, a lot of shedding. So my hair was shedding severely, like, you know. And a lot of times people say, well, you know, it's postpartum hair loss. I had a baby in 2016 and I did not experience postpartum hair loss. Not to that extent, maybe just a little bit around the edges. It came right back, right? That was 2016. But we're talking about late late 2018 going into 2019 that I am experiencing shedding like I've never seen in my entire life, okay? Like falling off the bone, like you touch your hair and pop, it's in your hand. Like it was bad. Now I can articulate that I lost nearly 60% coverage of my hair. I couldn't say that back then, but I'm speaking in hindsight. So please, how do you know you lost 60%? Because I know, I'm gonna tell you. Long story short, because I am in the industry, thank God, I am in the dermatological pharmaceutical industry. I was exposed to hair loss practitioners that ironically, right? This is how ironic life is. I'm selling hair loss product, like hair, skin, and nail products to these physicians, to these practitioners. And so they're like, hold up, stop, pause. What's going on with you? You do not look the same. Not only was my hair falling out, but I was breaking out in cystic acne real terribly throughout my face. I'm gonna insert pictures. I knew something was wrong, but I mean, you know, you just, sometimes when you're in it, it's like you don't realize you're gaining weight until either someone tells you, who's gonna tell you, or you look at a picture and you're like, yo, who is that? Harpo, who's this woman? Long story short, my hair, I lost nearly 60% coverage of my hair. And I found out because one of the dermatologists was like, hey, let me evaluate your scalp. Let me see what's going on. Long story short, guys, because I lost my train of thought, I went, had my scalp evaluated. First thing that the dermatologist noticed was a certain pattern on my scalp. And she says, this pattern is very consistent with a form of alopecia. And I'm like, what? And she's just going through my scalp like she's digging for gold. Like first she has like some type of microscope and she's just looking and she's like that I'm presenting with a certain pattern on my scalp. Like around this area, there's a certain pattern that she's starting to notice. She didn't want to name it and claim it yet. She didn't want to freak me out, but she's like, I'm noticing a particular pattern. She's like, okay, I think this is cause for me to send you in for us to do a biopsy because there is a pattern that's presenting and I want to do a biopsy. Long story short, she did the biopsy. Now, mind you, this is 2019. My hair is pretty much gone. Like, you know, when you watch those, you know, what I asked for versus what I got.
This is what I wanted, okay? This is the pastels. And this is what I got.
You know, those memes and you're like, well, how did you not see this happening? How did you? You really don't. Especially think about where you are. Well, for me, I was working extremely hard, you know, single-ish mom, was in a toxic marriage, going through so much. You're just trying to, I was in survival mode. You're trying to survive. You're just trying to make it day to day. So you don't realize the changes that are happening. You notice that there's something here, something there. You're thinning, but also there's something called denial. Like you don't wanna, you feel like you got a head full of hair. Ain't nothing really happening. And the way it happens is you still have little strands here. It's like, it's just weird. It's thin, it's paper thin. It's like 1-ply toilet paper thin, but you still see some length. So you're like, you're in denial. So that's how it happened. But the point is this, baddies, came in, second follow-up, did a biopsy. They call it a punch biopsy. They use not a utensil, but a tool that just does a quick punch and gets a quick sample of the scalp that they send over to a lab, okay? While she's doing it, she's talking to me to keep me distracted. She's using another tool to trick my brain into believing that she's on this side of my head when she's on this side. Very professional, very sanitary, very quickly done. No, my insurance didn't pay for it. I had to pay for it out of pocket cash. I cannot remember how much it was. Please, forgive me. Obviously a couple hundred, but I don't remember, so I'll be lying if I make up a number. Long story short, I hope I'm not getting any crust. Okay, long story short, you know, she sent it in, called me back. I think I came back a week or 2 weeks later and was given the news that I have androgenetic alopecia, aka female pattern hair loss, also known as male pattern hair loss, which is the nice way of saying it, but back in the day, it's called male pattern baldness, female pattern baldness. Essentially what it is that your hormones are somewhat conspiring against your hair follicles, and your hair follicles are doing something called miniaturizing. It's hard to say certain words with my Invisalign, but long story short, what that means in English is that your hair follicles are slowly over time getting smaller and smaller and smaller, which is causing the thinning. So androgenetic alopecia, thinning is associated with androgenetic alopecia, thinning, severe thinning over time, blase, and sometimes it can lead to follicle death. Obviously in the case of men, you see it all the time with the male pattern baldness, and it's a certain pattern that's why it's pattern baldness. And so I've been known for my hair my entire life. That was my thing, like growing up in junior high school, elementary school. Like, I'm the girl with the long, thick hair. Like, there was a time where my real hair was like this, you know what I'm saying? Without needing help, without needing a little fluff. And I was known for being that girl. And so you have to imagine the devastation. I think I recorded that day that I came out and I found out that I had androgenetic alopecia. I will try to look through my archives and post a little snippet of that video. But I was devastated. Oh my gosh, devastated. And she's like, you know, unfortunately with something like androgenetic alopecia, you don't cure it, right? You don't stop it and now you don't ever have it. So for those of you who think I don't have androgenetic alopecia anymore, that is incorrect. Excuse me, I'm on camera. Sorry, I decided to do this outside and my family wants to move around. But long story short, I was devastated. Just think about mentally how I felt. And I was that girl who was known for my hair. That was my identity. My identity was wrapped up in that. So how could this happen to me? That's all I got in my mind, right? Is my hair. And it's one thing to feel like you're temporarily shedding or your hair is breaking because you did something and it's, you know, maybe a perm or something, some type of reaction your hair is having and it's gonna grow right back. But to know that something like androgenetic alopecia is progressive, right? Your follicles are degenerating over time, and treatment really just looks like slowing down the progression of that degeneration. It doesn't mean, for those of you who feel like, oh yeah, you reversed it and your hair is back to, my hair will never be what it was. It will never be back to what it ever was. However, I have done a great job of slowing down the progression of my hair loss. You can proliferate your follicles, you can reactivate stem cells. There's so many different scientific modalities and things that you can do to give you denser, fuller hair of what's on your scalp, but also, like I said, slowing down the progression of the thinning. So all that to say, there is a science behind all of this. This is not just happenstance, and please forgive me when y'all get offended when I say this is not just slathering avocados on your scalp. It is a lot more intense than that. It's a lot more involved. And so long story short, we talked about my options. She sat down with me, talked about crafting a plan for me, and also talked about doing further testing, right? To find out certain causes, to find out certain triggers. So we did a full hormone panel. We needed to find out what's going on, if there's any type of female issues that I'm having, because at the same time I was experiencing really bad acne, right? So what is going on? What's the underlying condition? So that's when I built, not I, but with the help of board certified dermatologists, we built a dream team for me. That dream team consisted of my primary care provider, an endocrinologist, the dermatologist, a GI, right? Hold on, there's another one. Wait, I'm missing it and it's so simple. Oh man, what am I missing? Gynecologist, and I think at some point I also included a nutritionist, but that was like once the treatment started. But all these providers came together and ran so many different tests on me, right? I wouldn't know to ask for these things because guess what? When you go for a regular physical, they hit your kneecap real quick, check your reflexes. You gotta read A, B, C, D, E, F, G on a thing. You know, take a quick blood test for basic stuff, and they're like, you're good, you're not dying, go home, right? But you don't really do this in-depth, this real in-depth diagnostic or evaluation of your full wellness, your full body. I almost say, like, I kind of use the analogy of, it's almost like they put me up on one of those card things and lifted me up and started doing a full diagnostic to see what was going on with me. And of course, this is not, and I hate this about the healthcare system, but no one's gonna proactively do this. You have to be the manager of your health and wellness. And so I would have never known about these things had I not looked into it. Anyway, long story short, that's when we did a lot of testing, realized that I was on a spectrum for PCOS. I had cysts on my ovaries. I was deficient in so many different nutrients and different things. Anemic, low iron, low ferritin. What else? GI issues, right? So I had leaky gut and SIBO, right? So now that's a whole nother thing. And I can't go in this video into all the specifics of what all this stuff means. I have throughout this channel, subscribe, right? First subscribe, but I have throughout this entire channel different segments of all these different things and how these different things, how they affect you. I had extremely high testosterone. I was not ovulating properly. I mean, child, should I keep going on? Like, there was so many issues that I had, not to mention the stress, the depression, the anxiety, right? The unhappiness, right? The increased cortisol levels, lack of nutrition. I was just eating whatever I could eat just to make it to the next day, right? If that's a burger, if that's Wendy's, if that's whatever you get your hands on, all of that, right? So there was so many problems. Like, I always say the joke is a 4 for 4. Like, I had a 4 for 4. Like, everything that could have caused my hair to fall out, that I was doing. Plus, I wasn't taking care of it, right? You just go to sleep, you wake up, especially when you have good hair, right? Long hair, thick hair, or full hair. You don't feel it takes all that. You ain't got to do all of that. I could just go to sleep and wake up, right? But it wasn't an attitude behind it. It was just, I'm just in survival mode. I'm trying to make it from one day to the next. I had everything wrong. Everything you could think of was going on with me. And so I thought that this growth plan was just take these pills, do this, do that, and your hair is gonna grow right back. No. Your hair is the last thing right now. We need to focus on all the underlying conditions. We have to really bring you back to homeostasis. We need to get your body is in such a complete state of shock and trauma. We gotta work on the trauma going on in your body. And let's even throw in a therapist, because you know what? You need to start talking to somebody because you're going through a lot and you're extremely stressed. So this was a whole life journey, y'all. This wasn't just take these pills, do that, and you're healed. I just need y'all to understand that. So long story short, I always say long story short and the story gets longer, but I'm gonna try to summarize this because I can't go through each facet of everything. Just know that was the beginning of the beginning for me, right? It was the beginning of the end of me just navigating through life and just living in survival mode and being extremely intentional about how I live, how I eat, how I breathe, how I sleep, everything. Intentionality is what I gave birth to when I got that diagnosis, and I promise you, I've been amazing ever since. Now, I know I summed it up as if, open, shut case, open, I found out, close, I fixed it. That's not how that went, right? Obviously, hair growth, right? So hair growth and hair loss, like I said, they're not interchangeable, but it's a multifactorial approach to hair growth. What that means is, just like it took 99 different reasons for my hair to fall out and for me to be in terrible health, it's gonna take 99 reasons and 99 treatments and solutions to get everything back into homeostasis, to manage and treat all aspects of my health and wellness, to get my hair back to where it needed to be. It was first my hair loss, my androgenetic alopecia saved my life because it forced me to actually take my health seriously. And I got to a point where my hair didn't even matter anymore. I just wanted to be healthy. I wanted to live. I wanted to be here for my kids. And I just wanted to make sure that I was taking care of all these different things that I've neglected because I was in survival mode. And it started a journey for me, which included so many different things. Obviously, like I said, I mentioned nutrition, therapy, mental health and wellness, fitness, intermittent fasting, all these different things. I just started on this wellness journey that I'm still on, right? This is 4 years ago. I'm still on this journey, but obviously every year I get better. My hair gets better. It gets stronger, right? But not only that, I know how to manage it, because androgenetic alopecia, or any type of, hair loss or whatever, especially when it's chronic, not when it's just, you just had a baby and you losing your hair, or you're losing your hair because you did something to it, you used a perm or whatever. But any type of chronic long-term hair loss it's an uphill battle, y'all. There's months where my hair is thriving, it's at its best, it's gorgeous, it's beautiful, and I don't have to do anything. I just have to be stressed out about something, or I'm not taking in the nutrients that I need to take in, and boom, there it is. It starts falling out again. My hair at this point has become kind of like a measuring tool for me. Like, I can measure when my health is not right, when my hair starts to shed. Because once it starts to shed, even though I'm doing the things, I'm like, okay, something is janky, it's out of whack. We need to work. What is it? Process of elimination. What am I doing? What am I not doing? What's happening in my life? It's become that kind of thing for me. It's like a temperature gauge, right? What is going on with my health, my wellness, my mental health? What is going on? My hair usually is an indicator. Also my skin. I've had great skin now for 4 years, right? Well, 3 years, right? Because it took about a year to clear up the skin. But you know, when I start to see, not just before your period or different things, but if I start to see a whole bunch of blemishes coming up, oh no. What is going on? Let's reel it in. Like I said, I can't go into all the details of the treatment, but what I will say is what this channel is. Number one is all my treatments, right? Everything that I've done, everything that I do, the vitamins that I take, a lot of the cosmetic procedures, these are things that were recommended to me by my dermatologist and my hair loss practitioner. And some of the providers that were part of my, that were part of my dream team, that are still part of my dream team to this day. So if I'm just spewing, this is what I do, this is what I do, this is what I do, I'm always gonna say, start with speaking to your doctor first. My situation is different from yours. You need to find out what's okay for you. What are you currently on? Are you on blood thinners? Are you on this? Are you on that? What may work for me may not work for you. And that's why not only do I talk about the different strategies that I've used and implemented on this channel that were recommended to me by dermatologists and my different practitioners in my dream team, but I also do research and find out other strategies that I may or may not have used yet that may work better for you, because the name of the game is hair growth is a multifactorial approach, and not everything works for everyone. Something that may have worked for me may not work for you. I am always going to back everything I say up with science. I'm going to promote things that are backed by science, not your favorites. By the way, I take 0 sponsorships for this channel, and I remember I wasn't big enough to get sponsorships, and now people are sending me emails, can you promote this, can you promote that? And I'm hitting them back with a nah, I cannot. But the other thing that's very important is everything that I've learned, I have been able now, because you know, a lot of people are not as fortunate as I was to be already in the industry to have access to this. We typically don't have access to a lot of the latest and greatest, and we don't even know that it exists. There is so many there are so many treatments, there are so many solutions that are evidence-based, science-backed, clinically proven, but we don't have access to it because we don't know. And the providers that we're going to is just keeping it very simple with us, surface, and sending us home. I'm here to educate you. I'm here to teach you what you need to ask, the type of test that you want to ask for, what you need to check for on your blood work, all of that. And even when I talk about hair care products or stylers, that is not really about hair loss or hair growth. I'm not going to promote anything that may be extremely detrimental to you, that have ingredients in it that can cause harm or harsh chemicals, right? So at the end of the day, we're all about hair care, nourishing our hair here, especially as multi-ethnic men and women. Our hair is different, right? And at the end of the day, we want to grow our hair, but we don't want to sacrifice, and we don't want to negotiate on our hair texture to do that, right? And so all of that to say, I packaged all of this for you and created HairScripts. HairScripts is the name of the brand that I created, which gives people of color access to personalized prescription products that is going to treat your hair loss, okay? And so not only am I coming out with serums, which my serums are going to be dropping in the next couple of months, please leave your information down below, because I am planning on doing a beta launch, which that beta launch is going to be significantly, whether it's going to be heavily discounted or whether I'm giving it away. You need to get your name on the list, because I'm telling you, if you miss out, you missed out. But I'm gonna do first a beta launch for my baddies, because I want y'all to give me the tea first. My serum is dropping. It is science-based. Clinical based. I work with some of my dream team, and the actual practitioners that help me with my hair have come together with me, has become part of my board to help me develop this product. So my serum is dropping, and very soon I'm gonna be doing a couple of other things, because not only do I want you guys to have access, but I want us to have access to products that not only that are culturally sensitive and that take us into consideration and our needs into consideration, but that are not tone deaf. I'm not just gonna sprinkle a few inclusive people into some marketing and call myself inclusive. That's not how we do things over here. But I learned so much over the course of these 4 years. And by the way, I'm still in the industry, but ironically, I'm now in mental health. I'm no longer in dermatology, but I just look at it as it's all part of God's plan for me to understand the different facets of what I'm developing here at HairScripts. So my ask is that you guys support HairScripts 110%. It says that 1 out of 2 people are experiencing hair loss. What that means is everybody that's watching me right now knows at least one person, if not 2, but one person that is going through some kind of hair loss. Let me make this very clear. I'm not talking about alopecia. I'm not saying if you were diagnosed. That's my story. That's if you just had a baby and you have postpartum hair loss. That's if you're shedding, breaking, thinning, if your hair is not giving, if your hair is just doing something that it's never done, if it's not growing, if it's not growing past a plateau. All of those things is what I'm here to help you with, okay? So this is not for alopecia. I'm just telling you my story. The solutions, the products, the treatments, all of these different things and the strategies that I'm giving you guys, that I'm feeding you guys on this channel are all different things that's gonna help you on your hair growth journey, okay? So even if you have a head full of healthy hair, but you wanna do preventative measures, or you have good hair, there's not good, right? I don't mean by texture, but I mean it's not falling out, you don't have alopecia, none of that, but you just wanna watch because you just wanna grow past a plateau. I got all of that here for you. We talk about hair loss, we talk about hair growth. I even talk about products that are best for this and that and the other. But I'm also gonna be expanding this year and talking about skincare stuff that I'm using, things that I've learned, feminine health, you know, I'm gonna be talking about mental health. Why? Because this is all part of this holistic approach to hair growth. It's not just one thing, it's not just one vitamin, it's not just one pill, it's not just one this. All of us, none of us are created the same way. We're all individuals, so we all need a personalized, custom approach to hair growth. So I got you. I'm here to help you. All right, baddies? So please support HairScripts. This has been in the making for quite a long time. I have not thrown a money grab at you. I'm not going to Alibaba in China and getting nothing for you. This is legit. And trust me when I say I've been spending my own coins, okay? Going broke for y'all, for this cause, because I believe in it. I believe that I was commissioned to do it. I was chosen to do it. Why? Because I experienced it. I can speak to you about it from 2 different perspectives. From the perspective of the professional who's clinically trained to understand these things, and from the perspective of the actual patient / customer who experienced these things. I promise you, I am on a quest to help many of you to not only regrow your hair, but understand what I said in this whole video is not about hair growth or hair loss. It's about health, wellness, and feeling good about yourself. So thanks, baddies. I'm under 30 minutes. Please leave your information down below, and we're gonna do this in 2024 together. Bye.